In one. Welcome back to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast, another independent showcase. So we've been to England, we've been to Australia, and now we come back to the States itself. And we're looking forward to this one, as we always do, as we welcome to the show the Vision Orion. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fantastic.
Good.
Nice, bright, early Monday morning.
I was going to say, at time of recording, it is Monday afternoon here, morning in America. It was kind of weird this morning when I done my one. It was morning over here, evening in Australia. So, so it was time zones all over the place. I think my body clock's going to need resetting. Thanks so much for joining us, by the way. It's really good to speak. I love talking to the independent wrestling scene over either in here, the US or Australia, because each has its different, great companies to work for. Over in America right now, what is the independent scene like for you where you are?
Oh God. How do I answer this in the most politically correct way without sounding like a okay, so independent wrestling in America is I personally see it's dying. It's dying, unfortunately. Um, and I attribute that to like a lot of just professionals not caring, to be honest with you. Um, and it kind of sucks. We have a influx in half-trained wrestlers
Mhm.
because everybody over here, like anybody can be a trainer,
Yeah,
Um, and it's crazy when we have so many amazing schools,
yeah.
but everybody wants to attribute their idea of wrestling to I can be a wrestler in 8 weeks. You can't. You can't. Um, but that's what we're dealing with is an influx of 8 week wrestlers, wrestlers who are willing to work for $10. Which don't get me wrong, when I first started, $10 was a huge payday. Um, but it's not even like, the idea isn't, oh, I'm gonna get better, make more money. The idea is I'm gonna be a $10 wrestler just so I can get in the ring. Not
Mm.
because I, want to get better, not because of this, but I just want to be in the ring and have attention on me. Um, Sadly, that's the state of a lot of promotions, a lot of states in the US right now. Florida, I'm not gonna lie, Florida sucks. Florida
Really?
sucks now. And it's kind of the same thing. But with Florida, I think it's a lot more of promotion. We
Mm.
have a few good promotions in Florida, which would be like CCW, one of the
Mhm.
longest running. And Nelio runs Florida and he runs Tennessee. He runs, I think, two, three shows every single weekend. So he's keeping it going in that aspect. Um, Real Pro Wrestling in Fort Myers, they're starting to come back up. Um, and what seems to happen with a lot of promotions is they start off great,
Mm.
and then it's just like, oh, yay, we have fans, and then it just plummets. And that happens with almost every promotion. And it's just crazy to see, like, trying to think of like restaurant standards almost. It's kind of like, when you go somewhere to eat for the first time, it's like, oh my God, this is so good. This is
Yeah.
so good. And then everybody finds out about it, it becomes popular. Right? And then all of a sudden they have an influx of customers and everything like that. And then what do? They start to lax their standards because like, oh well, we're popular now, so it's okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of the state of professional wrestling. Now, don't be wrong, there are still a lot of great promotions in the U.S. Limitless, New York, like the Northeastern's just blowing up right now. It's crazy. Um, I don't know much about California to be honest with you. I know Texas has so many good promotions.
Yeah.
But again, it's very few and far in regards to like, putting everything into, one basket and being like, oh, how much is good, how much is bad? You're going to get a lot more bad than you are good, unfortunately, right now.
When he says about the wrestlers, about they just want to be $10 wrestlers, it's weird because like with so many sort of promotions now, the AEWs, WWEs, TNAs, with there's so many options out there to get a contract. I personally, when I've been, as I said, I've been talking to Australians and the obviously here in the UK, people have been more excited by that and they've wanted to learn more and they go to more seminars and they want to, they travel a lot more over to Japan and the US because there's more options available. How come do you think that's not been the case over there in America, that people just haven't grasped the fact that, hey, there's so much more variety now? I could fit in one of those if I actually tried to get myself over and get myself, trained up to a standard.
Complacency.
Yeah.
It's absolutely complacency. It's also not caring enough. Like the amount of people that I hear, this is my dream, this is all I want to do, yada yada yada, and then like I just watch them like you're not training in the gym.
Mm,
Now, before anybody gets on me about, oh, he's talking about the gym. Yes, I'm talking about the gym. I'm not saying you have to be 6'5", 245 pounds. I'm not saying you have to be jacked. Wrestlers come in all shapes and sizes, but you have to look like a credible threat if you're trying to make me believe that you're in this fight, that you know what I'm saying, that you're gonna win this fight.
mm,
You know, like, but it's just a not caring, man. It's people don't want to diet. It's too expensive. No, it's not. Chicken is very cheap. It
mm.
really is. Chicken and rice is a very cheap meal. You get some
Yeah.
good sauce and some low calorie sausage, you're good to go. Um, oh, gyms are expensive. Okay. Not really, but I mean most gym memberships are about $10 a month, you
Yeah.
know. But it's, what else? What are the excuse? Oh, gear's expensive. Yeah, gear is expensive. But you know what? Get on the internet, there's YouTube. Learn how to sew. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
Like it's the crazy amount of excuses that I've heard. Um, oh, why don't you go travel overseas? It's fun. I've wrestled in the UK. I love wrestling in England.
Yeah.
Uh, in Japan, I've wrestled in Japan. I love wrestling. In Canada, I love wrestling internationally because it's such a mix of styles. But you ask these guys, hey, why don't you? I don't have my passport. Go get your passport. It's too expensive. It's $125. You can't invest. Nobody wants to invest in themselves, you
Mm,
know? And I think we're also living in an age where everybody wants to be a content creator.
yeah.
So when that happens, now people don't want to have real jobs, you know? So they're subsidizing I guess, their funds with, oh, look, I made $12 off of Facebook. I'm independently wealthy. No, you're not. It's becoming harder and harder and increasingly hard because these companies like Meta and Instagram and TikTok and whatever apps pay you. Like I get deposits from Facebook and Instagram from Meta all the time. I don't even check them. They're not anything crazy, like 20, $30 here and there because of the videos
Mm,
I put up. But I look at it, I was like, oh, cool, okay, it's gonna go toward my my internet bill or something like that, something stupid.
yeah.
But I don't look at that as a main source of income. But like
Mm,
they're making it harder and harder for you to actually, you have to get so many views to even get a penny. I
yes.
think like to even get like a penny now, it's like you have to have over like 300 views.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, 300 views. But that's if people engage with you. If you have
Yeah.
engaging content, something that's good. Um, the complacency is just running wild though. It's just, people want to be content creators. They want to, they think that some of these jobs should be full-time jobs. Like Uber Eats, I'm sorry guys, it's not a full-time job. It's not. It can't sustain you. And people complain about that because they're not getting paid enough, but you're not getting paid enough because you're doing a job that's meant for a teenager in high school. So you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You're doing a job that's meant as a additional job, as a secondary job, not a
Yeah.
main job. Um, I also think it's partially a thing of I want to, a lot of people have the mindset of I want to be a big fish in a little pond. You know,
Mhm.
a lot of Florida wrestlers don't travel out of Florida. A lot of Georgia
Yeah.
wrestlers don't travel out of Georgia. Same thing with like certain states. A lot of people stay where they are, and some states have really good talent, so I understand why they stay where they are.
Mm,
But like they don't want to go somewhere else and be the small fish in the big pond.
yeah.
Like I don't know about anybody else. That's always been my thing. I want to work people that are better than me. You know what I'm saying? And there are a lot of people that are better than me. I think I am a great professional wrestler and a
Mm,
great professional athlete. But I know that there are a lot of people out there way better than me, and I want to wrestle them. I really do. Because that's the only way you're going to get better. Like when I
yeah.
came over to the UK, and I wrestled Ricky Knight Jr.,
Yeah.
and we had my language, a great friggin' match, you know. Um, we beat the piss out of each other.
Yeah.
But at that time, he was a lot better than me, and that made me better. I
Yeah.
wrestled over SWW, I wrestled PCW UK, um, over down in the Isle of Wight.
Oh, where is
I'm
it?
blanking.
I'm trying to think myself actually.
Outcast Pro
Ah,
Wrestling.
yeah.
I wrestled for LDN while I was over there with
Hmm.
Sanjay Baga.
Hmm.
And I got to wrestle all these talents that were just different styles and different people. It was such a great learning experience. And I'm like, my first UK tour, I got to wrestle Robbie X.
Yep. Oh, yes. Good
Oh
friend of
my
ours.
God.
Yeah.
And we just had a fun little banger. It was great. But I learned so much from it. And then like when I go to Canada, I'm working all these great talents that just, have, and people are like, oh, well, Canada just, the same as America. No, it's not. It's not.
No.
They wrestle a little bit, not much differently, but differently enough that I can learn from it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like circling back, long complacency, man. It's just oh, I'm a wrestler. I'm here already. I'm getting booked in a few shows. I'm fine with that.
Mm.
That's the mindset. And unfortunately, now I will say that is the majority.
Yeah.
There is a minority that, obviously, the ones that are making a name for themselves and that you see from America, you're like, oh, I know that guy. Like, as soon as you say, name, I know that guy. He's been here, he's been here, he's been here, he's been here. Because they're constantly like, I want to get better, I want to get better. And for those guys, kudos to you. Keep freaking doing it.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, I'm fortunate enough to work for a promotion over here in the UK, and we have our own championship here. And my thing is, I'd always want to put my championship on somebody that A wants to learn because we try and give them. Look, we sponsor the match, right? So we try and bring in the best that we can bring in. So for over here in the UK, we brought in the likes of Luke Jacobs, Michael Oku, who been seen over in AEW, especially Michael.
Mhm.
But we give them to our champions to A better themselves because you're in there with somebody that's one of the best in the UK. So to try and help them along, that's what we do for our championship. So it's nice to when we can make it happen. It's great because we know that. I mean, we brought on a guy called Eddie Dennis who's done WWE NXT
Oh
UK.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we brought him along for our champion once, and he was like, I've never learned so much being in those few hours with Eddie Dennis when they're working stuff out and getting in that ring and doing it. He come out, he said he's a far better wrestler now, not just because of that, but partially because he was in the ring with somebody that was the Eddie Dennis material,
Right.
which was really, really cool. Anyway, I digress on that. But your trainers, some of your trainers
Yes.
are very well known in wrestling nowadays. Should we say Zelina Vega and Alister Black or Tommy N, depending on how you know him. What was the main thing that they teach you there? Is there sort of, listen, there's loads of things that they teach you when you're in there, but is there a certain thing that they teach you that you're always in your head now that you think that kind of never leaves you?
There's violence,
Yeah.
honestly. Violence. And that seems like such a dumb little thing to say, like because again, wrestling should be violent, but
Mm.
when you watch it, how often do you actually see violence in wrestling?
Mm.
Not really. You look at this past Friday night with SmackDown,
Yes.
Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes,
Yep.
violent. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And again, look at the views it got, look at the attention that it got, look at the engagement that it got.
Mm.
Um, I mean, speaking of, like my coaches, coach is, what I'm saying, like I can, I guess Alistair, whatever. I always call him coach.
Yeah.
I've never, saying his first name is weird. But but like the reason that he's so different is because of the way that he wrestles. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? He's a very violent, and everything he does feels like it can be the end.
Mm.
Feels like it, what I'm saying, like he's trying to take your head off, feels like he's trying to kick your chest in, what I'm saying? Like he has that intent of, you know, what he wants to be perceived is easily seen, like
Mm.
if he says, okay, I want you to understand that when I kick you, I'm trying to kick your head off.
Yeah.
Anytime you've seen him do a kick,
Yeah.
you're like, he's trying to take his head off. Um, that's kind of the main basis. That's the base.
Mm.
The wealth of knowledge that we have at the dark arts is insane. Because we have Alistair, we have Zelina, we have Vincent of the Righteous, who's in
Yes.
TNT.
Yeah.
We also have Eric Stevens as well from ROH.
Yes.
So like you mix all this together, and it's literally a melting pot of, okay, here's the here's the recipe for success.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like everybody there has been successful in one way or another, like, and I've always I've always learned, and kind of been taught. And this is kind of what Coach said to me one day. Um, when a lot of people ask, like, oh, how do I pick a trainer? It's kind
Mm.
of like, okay, well, think about where you want to go. Has that person ever been to where you want to go?
Yeah.
You know, if the answer is no, well, then how are they going to teach you to get there?
Yeah.
You know, and that's not a thing of being like, crapping on, local trainers or anything like that. Because there's some great local trainers. Um, Firestar Pro Wrestling. I'll give a shout out to LeBron Cozone.
Yeah.
He's, great trainer, dude. He trained oh God, I know his Malachi. What's his name on Javon Evans.
Jamal
Trained
Evans.
Javon Evans. And Jackson Drake. Trained both of
Yep.
those. You know what I'm saying? So obviously, there's exceptions to the rules, but Cozone's also the guy that, has literally like put his entire being into wrestling to help out others and train others and learn different styles. A lot of trainers nowadays don't do that, you know.
Yeah.
Um, in regards to like the smaller, I guess, not previously signed or not currently signed trainers. Um, but I mean, our conditioning is unlike any others. To be honest with you, um, the amount of cardio that we do, uh, the amount of hold-to-hold wrestling that we do, and just the overall mindset of like everybody should be different. Like nobody at the school we have, um, I guess you call it. I mean, not really. You don't really call it a school, I guess, because like
Mm.
it's just it's more of a just a training grounds. You know what I'm saying? Like we all go there to be better and help, really, help him, help Zelina, help Vincent, like, and we just get to learn on top of it. So, um, but everybody there, it's just, we've all learned different ways to be, unique.
Yeah.
None of us do the same moves. None of
No.
us have the same characters. None of us do the same promos.
Yeah.
Uh, so it's always that mindset of just being different. And one of the main things, and I'm gonna post it on my story later, is he has this big I guess how do I put this philosophy that's written on the wall as
Yeah.
soon as you walk in. And at the end of it, what I'm saying, it says, uh, be comfortable, get comfortable being or be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Mm.
you know, um, because the moment that you get comfortable with something, you start to kind of roll back, everything about yourself. So you get comfortable, you get complacent, you
Yeah.
let things slide, whether it's your diet, whether it's your movements, your character and everything like that. But he keeps us uncomfortable. Like the moment we think that we have a drill down, he
Mm.
switches up. And we're
Switches
like,
up.
oh, we thought we knew something, we know nothing.
It's incredible having those teachers. We're going to break away for a bit. We're going to ask some wrestling questions, and I'm going to come back in and talk about some of the stuff that you've been doing. So random wrestling questions is kind of an interesting one. It always gets people thinking in some ways, and in other ways, people have got the answer right away. But I'm going to change up the first question because I normally ask what I asked you before we went on air. So I'm going to deviate that question slightly. And the first question is going to be, it's your table for free. You get three people around a table to discuss wrestling with. They could be past, present, living, or dead. Who is the three people you're having around your dinner table?
Wow, that's a really interesting question. Who would I have? Well, I definitely got to pick Coach
Yeah.
because again, like even though I have like unlimited access to his mind, like there's always something new that he could talk about. Like
Mm.
there's just an endless wealth of knowledge there. So we'll say for current, we'll say him.
Yeah.
Um, uh, uh, as somebody that I'll definitely say Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that he wrestles in Japan, he wrestled in Mexico, wrestled in WCW, ECW, WCW, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm.
so for the past, definitely that. This is tough.
Did get the mind thinking, right?
It really does because you're kind of like who can I conversate with? You know? Um, oh, that last one's kind of hard. You know what? I'd have to pick somebody like Freddie Blassie.
Yeah.
Just because of the fact of like again, coach would be kind of like the newer, more methodical of what you're looking for today, while still having those grounded roots of like
Mhm.
catch as catch can wrestling and like world of sport style. So
Yeah.
you still have that, but and then with Eddie, you kind of get the mid early 90s, 2000s, everything like that. But then I feel like you definitely need something like, Blast, because again, like even though, he was a manager at the end of his career, he still has that knowledge of like outside looking in,
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people don't understand that managers sometimes, I mean, Paul Heyman right now, think about him, what I'm saying? He's a wealth, and everybody wants to work with Paul Heyman.
Yep.
Why? Because he's so freaking smart. He's never been a wrestler in his career, you know? Um, yeah, so definitely, yeah, classy Freddie Blassie, Eddie Guerrero, and Alister Black.
Interesting. That's a good choice. Loads of good choices there. I am going to now go to the question I was putting an example out for you before we went on, which was the Mount. Listen, Mount Wrestling theme music has different ways. I mean, Alistair, your coach has got a great theme song,
Oh my God,
by the way, without
yeah.
even yeah. But if you had to do a Mount Rushmore of themes, so that's four, I think. Who's the top four?
The Rock's Hollywood
Yep.
theme. Um, Shawn Michaels, HBK song.
Yeah.
Um, trying to think who I like who I pop for every time the song comes on. Uh, oh, NWO Wolfpack song.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Wolfpack, yeah, Wolfpack. Um, and Rey Mysterio's original WCW song.
Oh, interesting. I remember
I uh I feel like back then, like,
it.
because even like even like the NWO Wolfpack song, like it wasn't overproduced. I feel like sometimes music nowadays, especially for wrestlers, is overproduced.
Yeah.
Like I wish we could go back to simplistic music.
Mm.
Like no, like now would Coach's song be as cool? Well, actually, I probably would be honest with no lyrics. I'd be like yeah, it still sounds pretty fucking cool. Um, but like there's some songs that don't need lyrics. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
the Rock's Hollywood theme song. It's
Yeah.
good. There's literally two lyrics in it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the song. Same thing with this original song. It was
Yeah.
two lyrics, or well, yeah, one verse.
Yeah.
Stone Cold, no,
Nothing.
nothing. Um, Test. His theme song was just literally one word.
Test.
Uh,
Yeah.
but like you could, Dean Malenko.
Mhm.
None. Like I kind of feel like we should go back to the old school vibe a little bit.
Mhm.
It would be different, I think, and I think that's kind of something that sets people apart. Is like me, I don't have any words in my song. It's my opening is just look at me, and then
Yeah.
it's just instrumental. Because like I'm like I want to I don't want people trying to focus on like, oh, let me learn the words to a song. No, just enjoy my song.
Yeah. Enjoy it indeed. Yeah. Some of those songs are great, by the way, as well. Now you mentioned your song was just had lick a minute, it's just got lyrics. But if you could have any band play you out at a wrestling show, what band would it be?
So I currently there's a song called "Sign of Life" by
Mhm.
Motionless in White. And I love that song, but not like just because I love the song, but like because of what my character is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My character, I'd be like, oh, you're a blindfolded guy, you're like Kenshi. No, I'm not like Kenshi. Stop it. Um, my character is an individual who wears a blindfold because the moment he takes it off, he can see directly through the person in front of him, the
Mm.
facade they're putting on for everybody else. And my whole thing is to expose that, whether you like it or not.
Mm.
Um, and it enrages me, and that's why I wear the blindfold. It's kind of like a bull, you know what I'm saying? Like you blindfold a bull, and then once you take the blindfold off, boom, it's just hell on earth. Um, so that's kind of my so like, and my finisher is called the blinding lights,
Yeah.
um, because one of my catchphrases is to look at the lights, and it's it's just the way the song just reverberates over and over. It's kind of like it's rock with a little bit of punk in it. It's just a really good song. I honestly I love it. And I know Ray Ripley has them. They did Ray Ripley's theme song too.
Yeah. Awesome.
So
There we go. So that's who's playing around. Final question before we move on, and it's a randomish one. So people have times that they would like to debut and maybe specific shows that they'd want to debut for a company. So if you could debut a pay-per-view or a special show for any company, what one would it be? That doesn't mean say you want to go there and that's where you want to go, but if you had a choice of where you could debut, where would it be?
man, so many. So I would love to debut probably like Wrestle Kingdom, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I want to work in Japan so much more.
Hmm.
Like and New Japan is crazy right now. Um, I would love like I would love to go back and work there. We're looking at hopefully later this year going back to Japan. Um, because my wife just came. Oh, my cat. Um, my wife just got back from a tour over there, and she was wrestling for Noah and Marigold.
Oh, great.
Um, so that was just about 3 weeks ago. Yeah, three weeks ago. But I would say Wrestle Kingdom. I mean, it's one of the biggest stages of all. And I know people are like, oh, Mania. It's like, I wouldn't want to debut at Mania.
No.
I wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, Wrestle Kingdom is like, yes, it's the WrestleMania for Japan, but I feel also it's like the perfect time to introduce something new,
Yes.
because right after that, it's New Japan, New Beginnings.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of fitting,
Mm.
when you think about it. Um, and plus your tail's so fluffy. Relax. Um, yeah, it would definitely be Wrestle Kingdom, Tokyo Dome.
Yeah. There we go. Wrestle Kingdom, the Tokyo's first one. The people have said Raw after WrestleMania, funnily enough, because they didn't want to do WrestleMania. So they said a Raw after Mania.
Yeah, I mean, the Raws of WrestleMania, I in recent years it's kind of been so like
Yeah.
I feel like thinking logically, if depending on when, if it's like if it's like the at the height of the Raws at WrestleMania, cool. But like recently, it's kind of been like a letdown after Mania.
Hmm.
There's been not, so like I feel like anybody knew the crowd would purposely just be like, oh, we don't like this guy. Like, who are you? Because you know how
Yeah.
wrestling fans are.
Yeah, exactly that. But anyway, it's a good one, Wrestle Kingdom. Now, up until recently, you were the CWF World Champion, I believe.
Yes.
Until recently, you've wrestled some of the who's who. You've wrestled Moose in that as well. He did beat you by DQ, I believe. You managed to get out of that one by DQ. But there was a couple of matches you wrestled in there, and I always like to get people's opinions on this because you've wrestled a few ladder matches for
Yes.
CWF, three and a four way. So look, when you're wrestling a wrestling match, is there's generally one or two, and when you're wrestling what I quote as a gimmick match with a ladder match or a cage or whatever, what other things do you need to take into consideration when you're a sort of planning your way through these matches?
First thing I go for is creativity.
Yeah,
Um, because again, like we're in the age of social media where everything is instantly accessible.
yeah,
And sorry. And the first thing that somebody can do is see if somebody else has done that spot. So I like to do my research as to like the most recent things. I like to go back and look back at like things like, okay, well, they did it this way. What if I tweak it just a little bit to make it look different? You
mm,
know, like a lot of things in wrestling, obviously, it's very hard to create anything new because almost everything's been done.
Yeah.
But I mean, something can be a base of something else, but still be new because you've changed it and modified it a certain way.
Mm.
So creativity is the biggest thing. Safety, honestly. Um, and you got to be careful because I mean, accidents happen. You
Yeah.
know, this is wrestling. A lot of people, some people will say the show must go on. Other people are like, oh, stop the show. It depends on the level of injury. Like if someone broke their leg in a match, I'm like, yeah, we're done. We're
Yeah.
done. We're done. Um, Funny enough, like unfortunately in that match, Bryce Cannon, when I did the bottom rope drop kick to the ladder, um, his hand slipped. Like he had a good grasp of it. His
Yeah.
hand slipped and it came up and it got him right in the mouth and like it broke one of his teeth.
Jeez.
Uh, so he was out the right. Like he left the match. He was done, and like he had tried to apologize. I'm like, dude, you're fine. Like because he left. He went to the hospital. I mean, he was fine. Um, but like he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, man." I'm like, "Dude, like if you feel anytime like you're done, like you're to the point where you can't continue, don't ever apologize for that. Doesn't
No.
doesn't doesn't matter, it doesn't matter what I think, doesn't matter what anybody else thinks, because there's people out there that are like, "Oh, he should have kept that. It was a chip tooth that doesn't, who get like brother, he breaks a tooth, chips a tooth. Okay, that's his right to leave."
Yeah.
Uh, Over planning.
Mhm.
I feel like a lot of people under plan for these matches.
Yeah.
Uh, you can never plan enough.
Yeah.
Oh, saying like, okay, what happens if this doesn't go right? What happens if we don't have enough time? What happens if, I'm saying, I can't climb at that point? What happens if this person's gassed? What happens if, I'm okay with it now, but then, later on, I'm not, I don't feel okay with it. Um, there's so many different aspects, especially in a match like that, because I'm thinking about this, and this person's thinking about this, and this. Like our minds are racing. So like we have to still kind of try to stay on the same way. Like and communication, guys. Communication is the biggest thing. Um, and I'm gonna say this because I've seen instances where this has been kind of an issue. Um, if someone says yes, I'm okay with that, and then in the match says no, please don't do that, don't fucking do it. Don't try to
Yeah.
force them to do it. Um, and the excuse of, oh, well, they said it was okay before. I think they got nervous. Okay, they got nervous. Who cares? Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Um, don't try to force people. Oh, it's fine. Da, da, da. You know what I'm saying? Like, if someone's not okay with something, just don't do it. The 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 one pop that you're gonna get, isn't worth somebody else's safety.
Yeah.
Um, don't be stupid. That's it.
Yeah.
That's probably the biggest one next to creativity. Don't be stupid.
Don't be
Uh,
stupid.
you can be creative without being like, hey, I'm going to give you a Canadian destroyer off the top of the ladder onto the, into the 16-foot ring. You don't need to do that. You don't. It's been done.
Yeah, exactly that. Final question before we start wrapping up. Obviously, look, you've done some work for AEW, you've done some work for Ring of Honor, you've done some work on NXT, but your goals, do you set goals? And if you do have goals for, say, this year, what ones are they?
So I've been lucky. Saying
Hmm.
like, um, I am a kid that started out being 115 pounds, soaking wet, that had the mentality that most kids have nowadays. I'm fine the way I am. They should just book me the way I am, blah, blah, blah. I was very wrong. Um, Once I got to start training with actual professionals, such as Ricky Morton, I've been trained by Alpha the Wild Samoan,
Hmm.
Matt Seidel. Um, I've gotten to train at OVW with Al Snow and Doug Basham. As well as obviously currently Vincent the Righteous, Zelina Vega, Eric
Yeah.
Stevens, and Alister Black. The amount of seminars that I've taken in that time are staggering.
Yeah.
Uh, I will say this as a precursor to that: there are a lot of scam um, seminars out there. Be careful. Um, my goal with wrestling has always been, I just want to sign a contract. I don't care where,
Yeah.
um, because wrestling is wrestling. I don't look at it as I've never looked at wrestling as like a competition, you know. I'm
Yeah.
not competing with anybody but myself,
Yeah.
simply for the fact that if I have what a company's looking for, they're going to book me. They're going
Yeah.
to sign me. You know what I'm saying? And this can be for the reason that I have something that nobody else has. I always put it into the mindset of James Ellsworth,
Yeah.
right? Why, like, people were generally upset that he got signed. And to this day, people still get mad. Oh, like, I could never have done James Ellsworth's spot.
No.
Physically, absolutely.
Yeah.
Physically, I could have. I've got to got beaten up by AJ Styles, sure. But what differentiates James Ellsworth from me, and the reason that he got picked is he had a certain look.
Yeah.
You know, I couldn't have done that. I don't look that way. You know, and I think nowadays a lot of people have that mindset of like, oh, I can. Why'd they get signed? It should have been me. It should have been me. If it should have been you, it would have been you.
Yeah.
You know, like I get it sucks. This business is a cold-hearted bitch. It really
Yeah.
is. It really is. Like it'll make you think that you are skinny, that you're fat, that you're out of shape, when you can be the most jacked person in the world. Body dysmorphia runs wild. Mental health is just staggering. Like it sucks. This is the worst. Like I'll be honest, this is the worst business to be in if you're not a mentally strong person.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, when you get to perform for those 15, 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever you're in the ring for, it is the absolute best business to be in. Um, in regards to goals, I just want to wrestle. Like honestly, I always set short-term goals, like
Mm.
with me right now, like I've been blessed that me and my wife have been able to wrestle full time. We bought this beautiful brand new house. Um, as you can see, I'm quite the collector of
Yes.
Pikachu and cool.
Yeah.
I have two rooms full of stuff like this. We were able to pay our bills with wrestling. We've saved a good amount of money. We've traveled. We've gone on vacations. We get to do all this cool stuff. And I I never want to sully that with, oh, I need to, I need to do this by this by this by this.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I want to get signed, but you know what? In reality, if it doesn't happen, at least I know that I'm doing everything possible and that it wasn't me. You know,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, if you could look back and say, you know what, I did everything I could. No
Yeah.
matter what it is, wrestling in your life or anything, like you don't want to live with regrets. You don't want to live with what ifs. So like right now, I'm not living with what ifs. I'm busting my ass in the gym. I'm in the dark arts, working out, training, hitting those ropes, do my bumps, come up with new stuff, doing my promos, everything like that. I do my social media. We do the Twitch stuff.
Mhm.
We travel constantly. Always new gear. And as long as I continue to do that and I'm enjoying myself, I guess that's my biggest thing. I just want to have fun. I want to have fun. I feel like right now with the matches that I'm producing, I'm in my prime. Like I'm doing some of the best work that I've ever done. Um, Far beyond anything that I thought possible. Um, I just want to get better. I want to get better. I want to wrestle better people than me too.
Excellent stuff. Right, as we start to wrap up now, Ryan, you tell us where can people find you on social media? What have you got coming up that you can announce? And if people want to book you, how can they do so?
So all my social media is the Orion X. That's on Twitter or X, I guess.
Yeah,
Twitter. I'm calling it Twitter. I don't care.
same me.
um, Instagram, TikTok, all that fun jazz. Facebook, just the Vision Orion. Or and this is gonna sound weird, but on Facebook instead of John Loco. So my other gimmick is Blanco Loco,
Yes.
which was my original gimmick, which I still do time to time. So he is bookable. He is fun. He is a Pikachu connoisseur as well. Um, my next, actually, funny enough, my next matchup is this upcoming Friday at Super Kicked. Pro Wrestling in Toronto.
Nice.
And I'm actually wrestling another one of my trainers. It's me and Eric Stevens, first
Love it.
time ever. So that's gonna be a blast. Um, I'm trying to think. I have to look at my calendar. I don't
That's all right.
know.
You can put it
Um,
out on your social media. That's absolutely fine. As we start to wrap up, I got a few things to make. Big thanks to AJ Francis for popping along last week. Apart from your soccer club that you support in the UK, you're a decent enough fella. That was really good. And coming up on the show, saw Sign Guy Dudley as well. Thanks for taking us down the old ECW days. And of course, coming up on the channel very, very soon, I can now get to call him Uncle Eric because of the amount of times that he's been on the show. Eric Bischoff will be coming back to the show to discuss, to catch up, and to talk real American freestyle. And finally, do not forget May the 3rd, Ignite Wrestling over here in the UK, Boreham Wood. Our championship is on the line. The new champion, the Grand Slam champion, Mr. Happy, like the comet, he smiles every 2,000 years. He will be defending the championship for the first time against Denzel Max. So go to 96 Eventbrite, type in the end game, and you get your tickets. They're already 75% gone. But Orion, thanks for joining us today. It's been fantastic speaking from you. We look forward to hoping you come back over here and maybe get a booking over with us at Ignite and come for the championship.
hey, you never know. I do
We
love
never
England.
know. That'd be great. For Orion, I've been Adam Cousins, and you've been watching the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. And until next time, everybody, buckle down, stay safe, and good.